Hello, hello! Today I will be returning for the third time to a cruiser that the very first time I disliked, the second time I found decent, and this third time I've actually been enjoying a lot. I finally found a style of play on the Karlsruhe that I actually very much enjoy. The Karlsruhe is obviously the tier 4 German cruiser, and basically I put some simple combinations together. 1, it has guns on both sides. 2, it has torpedo tubes on both sides. 3, it handles quite well. 4, it's got a decent concealment, 10.3, not the best at tier 4 by any means, but still decent enough to allow you to sneak into battles that you want. And of course at tier 4 it has access to German hydroacoustic search. You might have seen several of my commentaries about hydroacoustic search, how it works, and especially why I love German hydroacoustic search. Well, all of these combined on the Karlsruhe, this turret setup, torpedo setup, and basically this small little ship that has been buffed several times. Basically at one point, especially really very early in the start, it kept losing its engine to any sort of damage, like over and over again. It's been buffed to the point that I don't really even know if I've lost my engine a single time, which has obviously made it significantly less frustrating to play and a lot more enjoyable. Now the same issues that it had in the past of course still remain, that the firepower is quite weak on it. Because the HE damage does very little, and the AP shells, well, they do a significant amount of damage. The issue is just you have to really find those sweet broadsides to make use of them, which the AP was kind of something I demonstrated in my earlier Furtaka commentary. But while hunting for this AP broadside was okay, it wasn't that much fun. But this playstyle I've been using lately on the Karlsruhe has actually been an absolute shitload of fun. I've been completely enjoying it and having so much fun with this style. It's basically you follow your DDs and you get into brawling fights with and helping your DDs. In this case you might have seen I parked in my friendly DD smoke. My DD died, but he left the smoke behind. I parked in the smoke and I used my hydroacoustic search to just sit here and take pot shots at the enemy DDs. I'm pretty much immune to torps thanks to my hydroacoustic search, or well, of course not immune, but I have plenty of warning. The smoke faded, I'm in the middle of all their DDs, pretty much in the middle of their fleet. I don't care, let's push in. I can see the torps, I can see them as soon as they launch them, because I have German hydroacoustic search. It detects these torps so far away. I have so much time to react and to dodge and to evade these torps, that as long as this hydro is active, it's very easy to avoid these torpedoes. You see, I just slow down and turn. I have full stop on, and I'm turning. You got 2 torpedo launchers on both sides. They have very short cooldown. I use the unupgraded torpedoes. These have a 42-second cooldown, so pretty much they'll be up almost pretty much every time you need them. And the best part is when you're brawling with your DDs against enemy DDs, is that the enemy DDs tend to have a tendency of focusing their guns at your DDs while trying to torp you. Now, because you have hydroacoustic search, you don't actually get torped, and the gunpowder is all being focused at your teammates, so you don't even get shot at. You see, I'm still full HP. I just get shot at for the first time, and I've been here in the middle of this cluster of fighting, and that was the first time I actually got hit. I deleted their first, what was it, an Izokaze. Now I switched to AP because I see a Kuma. This is something I talked about in my second commentary. When you find these sweet spots, switch to AP and just laugh at the ridiculous amount of AP damage you do with this ship. Okay, someone is really mad at me at chat, because apparently I'm a kill stealer bitch. Feels bad, man. Oh, and once again, no, actually it was the other side torps I just used, but both my torp sides are already ready. So, gonna lay a few volleys of torps on him. Shoot some AP into him. You might notice I'm getting penetrations and not bounces, because, well, German AP at this close range does a lot of damage and very useful. Here comes the advantage of having, first of all, great torpedo arcs, second of all, torpedoes on both sides, so you can literally really punish battleships at close range. Deleted him. Now the Kuma is half HP, I got 1k HP, but I got German AP. And what did I talk about when I said German AP? Goodbye, he got destroyed. End of story. 4 kills, double strike, 77k damage. It wasn't many minutes I was in the game. This game naturally ended soon after with our victory, not surprisingly. See the score screen. Nice little bonuses here. Got some missions done, of course. Top score for my team, and overall, just very much fun to play. Now, this was of course just one map. These low tier maps are actually surprisingly suitable for this type of pretty much reckless gameplay that I really enjoy. So let's might as well show you a second map as a second example. I'm sure all of you recognize this map, Straits. Especially, now this obviously does not work as well, the tactic doesn't work as well on this map if you get standard battles, because, well, most of you probably know my opinion on standard battles. I just dislike them regardless of ship and regardless of what ship I'm sailing or regardless of what tier I'm at. But when you get domination on this map, that's when you can have so much fun on the Karlsruhe. Because once again, of course, just like the last map where we went to B, once again I go to B. In general, if you want to use this type of aggressive tactic that I'm showing off here, you want to go to the spot where most of the DDs are battling. And on this map, it's pretty much always B, where they end up sooner or later. They're all gonna end up there, and they're gonna duke it out. Of course, there you will have cruisers adding in every now and then, but battleships actually rarely add in at the start. They might take pot shots at you, but usually they're going to be too distracted by what's going on at A and C to actually focus on B early on in the game. So, of course, once again, just like in the earlier map, I'm rushing into B, taking some shots at these guys trying to cap C, see if I can delay them a bit. Hoping that my team understands to bail. Since the Myogi is bailing from C, that means our CVs really have to bail ASAP, otherwise they're gonna get caught there, because slow tier CVs are so slow. But here we go, once again, the action is on. Wickers in front of me, Iziaslav to the north, Vakatake to my right on my team. We got it all, and the CV planes are coming, and we got the action straight away, the fun action, which is what I've been enjoying so much with this Karlsruhe. You just dive right into the action. There's no downtime, there's no boring time. Okay, this Persian wasn't very kind to me there. Okay, this guy was smart enough to actually dodge those torps. But I just saw, I'm not too afraid of showing full broadside to this, so close to this, because you saw him just use the torps. My hydroacoustic search detected those torps. Now obviously it looks like he's going to turn around, so I'm going to keep kiting him. Just going to keep kiting him away. It's obviously he wants to turn around and torp me. Now it looks like the CV is wanting to get in on the fun as well, which is of course an issue because I got torps in front of me, someone wanting to torp me from behind, and the CV showing up as well. But once again, hydroacoustic search spots the torps as soon as he launches them, so a quick turn allows me to dodge them, and I dodge the ones from in front as well. My buddy DD died, but once again, as I said earlier, they all focused their firepower on him while trying to torp me. So, as you can see, I'm almost still full HP. I'm gonna unfortunately eat one torp here, but ultimately I've killed 2 DDs and only eaten 1 torp, so not the end of the world really. Honestly, I'd consider that a positive trade. Sadly, it looks like we're behind on points because we've lost more ships, but whatever. I'm gonna just continue this style of basically relentlessly shooting at everything I just can, because with this kind of style of gameplay you kind of have to accept that yes, you're in the middle of the open, yes, you're goddamn vulnerable, no, you're not gonna get out of there alive, so why even try? Just try to take as many of them with you before you go. Just like punish as many people as you can before they take you down. Which is pretty much what I've been doing on this Karlsruhe, and it's been surprisingly successful and so much fun. Just so much fun. Okay, of course I highly recommend you're leveling another line or another type of ship on the side, of course, so when you die on the Karlsruhe you can go play that other ship. Because you will be having short games, but honestly it's probably one of the most fun I've had on any ships in a long time, just getting in there and just brawling like a madman in the Karlsruhe. Because the deities don't really know how to deal with someone who's basically immune to smokes and immune to the hell was that? That hit me. I thought I dodged all those torps. That's interesting. Anyway, immune to... You don't really know how to deal with someone who's both immune to torpedoes and immune to smokes. Those are the two strongest aspects of a DD. And when you turn yourself immune to both of them, they just get so confused and like they struggle so hard on fighting you. Because they're so used to being just able to torp a cruiser that's too aggressive out of the way, but when you keep dodging them and just seeing through their smokes and suddenly they get caught, and it's incredibly fun and incredibly potent. And of course, when a battleship decides to join in, battleships at tier 4 aren't on tier 3 and even tier 5, they aren't exactly the fastest ships in the game. So you have so many torps, so there's no issues for you to take them with you before you go before you go down. And that's a Kraken with 40 minutes left in the game. That's gotta be like, that's a pretty goddamn fast Kraken. And in this game, we actually ended up having 2 AFKs, but we still won this game, which is of course always amusing. And once again, Kraken, close quarters, just the flesh wound, top score on my team, and the amount of time like I spend in these battles is so minimal, and I enjoy the entire time I spent. Even if I get deleted at the start, I still like there's no tedious, boring part involved in this, playing the ship like this. I've been having some of the most fun with the Karlsruhe with this playstyle, honestly. And it's something I recommend people at least try if they're gonna level this ship. As usual, I will start with the modules. Now, both the range and the hull upgrade are, in my opinion, almost equally important. I still prefer getting the range first, because otherwise you're going to be so limited on your range. You have a measly 10.6 without it, and considering your concealment is 10.3, having only 10.6 range can be quite tricky indeed. So personally, I prefer getting the range first and then get the hull upgrade. The hull upgrade adds some nice bonuses, like getting doubling your torpedo tubes. Otherwise you only have 1 on each side, but once you get the hull upgrade you'll have 2. So that's a very nice bonus. The torpedo upgrade I consider optional, because while it adds 2 kilometers of range, it also increases the reload time significantly. From that nice 42-second reload it goes to a 53-second reload. It doesn't sound like much, but it's still a 25% increase, and in the brawling style I employed, that 25% is quite a significant debuff. Personally, I never saw the need for these, but I mean, if you want to try them or use a different style, I think using either torpedoes are fine. Personally, I chose to just skip them, and honestly, if you want to get rid of the Karlsruhe as quickly as possible, why waste 1000 XP on this? Although, I have to say, I've been quite enjoying it with the style of play I've been using. Consumable wise, you don't really have to get the premium of either. I would prefer, well, I always recommend getting the premium repair. Invest 22.5k for a much more enjoyable gameplay experience. You can just click the small arrow to switch between Dune and credit costs, so make sure you have the better repair. And of course Hydro, I prefer the premium one because of the shorter cooldown, but I think you'll do just fine with the first one, because honestly, with this style, it's quite often you'll die before this even comes with cooldown anyway, so picking either one is fine. Upgrade wise, oh, I don't even have a second upgrade on this guy, I just noticed. Probably because none of these really are that interesting. I mean, I guess you could probably get steering gears. Steering gears or propulsion is probably the one I get if you want to get them, but I haven't bothered since I haven't really seen the need of either. And I've kind of been winging it on this account. But this first one should absolutely be main armaments. It gives you, it buffs your main turrets and it buffs your torp tubes, which is basically exactly what you're going to be using the most. So absolutely get this one. Secondary, I'd probably get propulsion, because losing a steering gear is less crippling than losing your engine, because at least you can still evade. And captain perks wise, going for my usual cruiser build, which means I'll start with situation awareness. I'll build up into expert marksman, then I'll get vigilance. I'm working towards demolition expert, which is now actually quite viable. So in the past I always went AFT on German cruisers, but thanks to the recent buffs to high tier German HE, I'm actually preferring demolition expert, since I find myself using the HE far more. And of course concealment expert, and then when I build up enough points I will be getting superintendent with the last 3 points. but that's far in the future. At this tier, you're probably gonna be around this level where I am. You've just unlocked Vigilance, which, especially for this brawling type of gameplay, is absolutely fantastic. And then later on, Demolition Expert to increase that fire chance. Anyway, that was my short and sweet Karlsruhe commentary, a ship I have actually been having a lot of fun with as of late.